Korea is an important case study that I've been doing for some time. South Korea in 1953 was amongst the poorest. South Korea GDP per capita 1953, $67. Guess what? In 1973, 20 years later, there were only $407 per capita. Papua New Guinea in 1973 was $486 per capita. So who's higher in 1973? PNG 486, South Korea 407. 1975, we still remain in the 480s with 485 from the records I have. South Korea had gone past us to $617 per capita. 50 years later, from 1973, South Korea is the 11th biggest economy at $33,147 per capita. Papua New Guinea, we've just gone past $3,500 per capita. Some more statistics. The land size is around 100,000 square kilometers, so just a little over 100,000. Papua New Guinea's land size is 462,840 square kilometers. So we are 4 times bigger than them. And just for comparison, our own Western province is 98,000 square kilometers. So they're only 2,000 bigger than our own Western province. Our own Western province has a gold mine, has a fertile land that is blessed by abundant river system. You could harvest forestry, you could harvest agriculture 365 days a year. South Korea, 4 months a year, winter. Only 30% of the land arable. From poverty at 1953, still behind us at 1973, gone past us at 1975. Today, 11th biggest economy. Papua New Guinea still ranks, still way below. What happened? Really, what happened is a question we also be asking. With no blame to the past, but for us today to construct our own future. I repeat, with no blame to the past are lessons which is read. But for us today, all of us, you and me, put together, here this morning, in this room, is the class of Papua New Guineans who can make it matter most for our country. Majority of us here, state-owned enterprises, departmental heads, from the Chief Secretary, ministers, myself, all of us, as servants of our people, we should be asking, from the poorest nation on earth in South Korea, how comes today the 11th biggest economy? They progressed, and you and me are trotting along. It's okay. Someone else will do it. I'm okay. The question we ask is, what is it that all of us must do? Our country needs us together, collectively, this team here, to be working. One day we will no longer be in these jobs we occupy today. When you retire into your village, when you retire into your town, when you retire into your province and into your country, will the younger ones give you respect as you retire? Respect is not forced but it's earned. People are watching us, all of us. We are under the scrutiny. Our country could appreciate our generation's input into modernizing our country, into ensuring that our economy is robust and diversified and strengthened, into ensuring that all parts of our country have enabling infrastructures that tottles them into contributing economic zones, to ensuring that health care of our people are 1 hour within reach, to ensuring that no child is left behind in education, and they're not just getting the maths and science and social science and English, but they're getting holistic education to skill them, empower them, shape them to be contributors to their own country, to ensure our people are fired up to participate in the economy. This is the country we must build for the next 20 years. Every day I go home and say, have I done enough today? I ask you ask the same question, have you done enough today? There's a wise Greek proverb that goes like this: society grows great when all men plant trees who shade their own cedar. Are you planting trees that will give shade to your children, their cousins, that kills men in our country? Or are you chopping down trees that were already planted by the Somali generation? They planted that tree called Papua New Guinea today, and are you chopping it down? Are you harvesting the fruit they planted and not replanting it yourself? South Korea would have done it with absolutely no resource, but human resolve to do better for their country. They had no gold mine, they had no oil fields, they had no gas fields, they had no timber, they only had some fisheries, but they used public policy of import, downstream processing, and export. They're able to build a nation from obscurity and nothing into absolute abundance today for their children. What is you and me and our contribution to our country?